So other day I was actually speaking in Brooklyn also on the verse that was again from the Dhruv Maharaj story itself, where Dhruv Maharaj, we all are actually Utanpads. We all are born. Utan means where the legs are upside and the head is downwards. We all have been born in such a, we all have actually taken birth in this material world and in the form of Utanpads. We are all Utanpads. And we all have two options with us. Raja Uttanpad, the king Uttanpad, had two options. He had two wives, Suniti and Suruchi. The Suniti denotes the dharma. So we have two options in our lives, just like King Uttanpad. We either have Suniti, the dharma in our life, or the Suruchi, where sense gratification. So if there is sense gratification, then dharma takes a second place. But if we have dharma in our life prime, so dharma doesn't mean that, oh, I say I'm Hindu, or I say I'm Christian, or I say I'm a Muslim. Dharma means those who actually follow the path of the Supreme Lord, those who follow the instructions of the Supreme Lord, those who actually lead a life that is actually on the moral values. And that can only happen those who are surrendered to the Supreme Lord. The surrender is actually to the instructions of the Supreme Lord. It's not just sentimentalist, being sentimentalist. We cannot be a sentimentalist. We have to have the, actually, Bhagavad Gita speaks all about it. It's the principle. The Srimad Bhagavatam has got the rupa, it has got the leela, the pastimes, it has got the gunas. So it has got it says Nam Rupa Guna Leela. It has got the name, it's got the beauty of Krishna, the Rupa of Krishna, the Sakha Rupa of Krishna it mentions. And then it has the gunas and it's Nam Rupa Guna Leela, the pastimes. But in the Bhagavad Gita, pastimes are missing. So there the pastimes are not there. So we have the Nam, Roop, and the Gunas. So we have the principle is laid down by the Bhagavad Gita. The foundation is laid down by the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita gives us the foundation that how we can uh, actually enter the spiritual kingdom, how we can follow the spiritual kingdom, what should we do. That's why Krishna gives us so many options in the Bhagavad Gita, that either you take, if you take to the Hatha Yoga, then what will happen? If you take to the Karam Kanda, then what will happen? But if you take to the devotional service, the Bhakti Yoga, then you will be surpassing all those, and you will be on expressway. So you will be on a freeway where you will reach your destination without much hindrances. But if you are in Karam Kand, or if you are following Hatha Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, you will have to actually suffer a lot. You have to be facing Maya again and again. Maya will be disturbing you a lot more than in the devotional, when you are in devotional life. So when one is in devotional life, he has less of Maya to face actually, because devotional service means, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham stata yuktanam bhajantam priti purvakam. Those who actually remember me always with, he says, Tesham stata nirantar, continuously, those who are actually chanting my name, singing my glories, doing my kirtan, they are actually surrendered souls. But then if they do it with love, then if they do it priti purokam, then I give them the intelligence to come back to me. Dadami buddhi yogantam. So he gives the intelligence then. Here, Dhruv Maharaj, he is sastata yuktanam. He took the instructions of his mother, and then he finds his spiritual master. So he takes the instruction now of the spiritual master. Mother guided him. She was the Marpadaksha Guru for him. She guided him, and he reached where? He reached the forest looking for Krishna. And there, when he was looking around for Krishna, he actually found his spiritual father. So when we are actually in search of the Supreme Lord, if we are really truly searching for Supreme Lord, we are very, very inquisitive, then what happens? We find the spiritual father. Krishna makes it that the spiritual father is present there. He actually makes an appearance. As I said, in the verse here, in the 30th text, Dhruv Maharaj actually thought, in this chapter itself, in the 30th verse, Dhruv Maharaj actually thought to himself, to endeavor to be situated in the shade of the lotus feet of the Lord is not an ordinary task. because he knew this was not an ordinary task what he had accomplished. He had accomplished a very extraordinary task. Within 6 months, he had achieved the darshan of the Supreme Lord. Whereas he knew that even great brahmacharis, headed by Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, the Sanandan, the four brothers, out of these four brothers, these brahmacharis, they practiced Ashtanga yoga in trance, and they attained the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord only after many, many, many births. So they achieved his lotus feet after many, many births. Whereas Dhruv Maharaj exceeded in only 6 months. So within 6 months, he thought, I have achieved the same result. Yet due to my thinking differently from the Lord, I fell down from my position. So he fell down from his position. He had achieved a big task. But his actually what he was meditating upon, what he wanted to actually achieve was not good. He wanted to achieve a big kingdom, a material thing. So now he said, I am, because Krishna appeared and he said, I can give you everything in this world, what you want. And he says, I was actually thinking of, that was now diamond has come, and I was only thinking of the glass. And now I don't want that glass. I want you, the diamond. But then Krishna says, I will give you what you were actually meditating for. But what Krishna did was he took the asakti from him for that material thing. He took away the attachment to the material thing. That's what Krishna does. When he appears in our lives, he takes away the material attachments. He takes away what we are attached to materially. He takes us back to Godhead, but it's in his own way, like he did with Dhruv Maharaj. He tells Dhruv Maharaj, he assures Dhruv Maharaj that you will get now a planet in your name when you will leave this planet. He tells him everything, that you will achieve a greater planet, where eternal planet that would not perish even in the pralaya, the times of pralaya, when it will not perish. And when it does in the final pralaya, then you will come back to me and then again be reinstated in your own planet. So that is how actually assured Dhruv Maharaj. His 6 months of devotional life was going to give him a lot of things, but he was actually now thinking to go back to Godhead with Krishna himself. But then Krishna says, my dear Dhruva, I shall award you the glowing planet known as Pole Star, which will continue to exist even after the dissolution at the end of the millennium. No one has ever ruled this planet, which is surrounded by all solar systems, planets and stars. All the luminaries in the sky circumambulate this planet. Imagine, Dhruva is going to get such a planet, the Pole Star, where all the other luminaries in the sky will circumambulate this planet. And it says, he told Dhruva, keeping the pole star to their right, all the stars inhabited by great sages like Dharma, Agni, Kashyap, and Shukra circumambulate this planet, which continues to exist even after the dissolution of all others. Imagine what a high status Dhruva has got. A 6-year-old boy, just a 5-year-old boy with just 6 months of tapasya. And that too, he did as his spiritual master gave him. He followed the instructions of the spiritual master. So, following the instructions of the spiritual master is very, very important. That's what the Bhagavatam establishes, this fact that those who are surrendered souls, they will actually go back to Godhead. They will achieve the blessings of the Supreme Lord. And Supreme Lord told Dhruva everything before he is going back to his palace, his kingdom back, where he's going to rule for 36,000 of years. Krishna actually gives him an insight into all that in future is going to happen with him. He told him that in future, your brother, your Uttama, the step brother, he will go into a forest and he will be killed there while hunting. He will kill a yaksha and then he will be killed by them. And your mother, Suruchi, will also follow her son in search of her son. She would also go there and she would also end up in a forest fire. So Krishna told him, he gave him all the knowledge. So when actually Supreme Lord appears in our heart as the Chitta Guru, He reveals everything. And imagine when Dhruva was actually meditating on the Supreme Lord while he was in those 6 months, while he was chanting the mantra, he was meditating on the form of of the Supreme Lord. And when Krishna appeared, he looked like the same as Dhruva had been actually meditating upon the form. So Krishna appeared exactly. He saw the same form that he was meditating upon in his heart appeared before him. That's how Krishna appears in our lives, but with the mercy of the spiritual master. So the Lord actually told Dhruva again that I'm the heart of all sacrifices. I'm the Yogeshwara. Yagyas all happen for me. Everything is offered to me. And you will also perform great, great many yagyas and give charities. In this way, he was telling him that you are going to work for me now. It's not that you will be working for your own self. You will not be working for your own sense gratification. You will be now working for me. So when one gets enlightened, the Dhruva story is very interesting. At every step, you get to learn something. Then when you get enlightened, by the Supreme Lord Himself, by the spiritual master, by the mercy of the spiritual master, then what happens? You actually understand what your purpose of human life is. The real purpose of human life is to become servant to the Supreme Lord, to serve the Supreme Lord. So that's why Krishna is making clear to him that you will perform many charities, you will actually live a life that will be not full of detachment. You will have the kingdom to yourself, but you will not be attached to the kingdom. You will not be attached to sense gratification. You will be serving me only because Dhruva does not want to rule now. But Krishna is telling him, you will be serving me. You will only become my servant by actually serving my instructions now. So you will perform any sacrifices. He speaks that in the Shloka 24. In this way, you will be able to enjoy the blessings of material happiness in this life. And at the time of death, you will be able to remember me. So Krishna assures him that I guarantee that you are going to rule the world for 36,000 years, but you will not forget me for a second even. Because when you will die, when you will leave at the time of your death, when you leave this planet, you will remember me. So that's how Krishna assures his devotees that they will remember him at the time of death. So if we become devotee of the Supreme Lord, follow the instructions of the spiritual master, then it is guaranteed sure shot that we will not forget Krishna at the time of death. Krishna assures Dhruva. So, but Dhruv Maharaj is being assured. Why? Because it is how he has been blessed by the words, because he followed the instructions of his spiritual master as it is. He never actually did his own concoctions. He never mixed it with anything. He did not say, oh, I should not do this. It is very tough. I can try some other thing. He never said that because he was so much inquisitive that he followed every instruction of his spiritual master. So it says, when we are very inquisitive, we are very jigyasu, Krishna says, you actually come back to me, you come to me, and then I bless you. So he blesses four kinds of people we know. Those who are in search of wealth, they go to Krishna. Krishna says that. They come back to me, they come to me. Then those who are in distress, those who are in pain, in distress, in agony, they go to Krishna because they want their problems to be solved out. They go to Supreme Lord. Then those who are very inquisitive, they also go to Krishna. They want to know why we are born, what happens to us after death, what we are doing here. So they go to Krishna. They have a lot of questions. And then those who have knowledge, they go back to Krishna also. They also go and want to be in the shelter of Krishna. So Krishna says these four are very pious. They are very pious souls. And then Arjuna asks in the Bhagavad Gita, who is the best among them? Who is the most best? Whom you like the most? Then Krishna says those who follow the devotional path on the basis of knowledge. Those who do Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional life they follow, but on the basis of knowledge, on the knowledge given in the scriptures. On that basis, when they do the pure bhakti, they are the best ones. I love them. They are very dear to me. So likewise, Dhruva, he did the same. He did the bhakti, pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord. And then he actually became dear to Krishna. And now when he's dear to Krishna, Krishna actually purifies him. Krishna purifies him from all the actually sense gratification. He he doesn't want to rule now. He doesn't want the kingdom. When we become devotees, we don't want to do what we were doing earlier. We actually feel it's what we were doing was not good. But sometimes the spiritual master gives us the instruction, yes, be there where you are situated, for, but don't take their association. You are among those people who are not non-devotees, but don't take their association. Give your association. So that's we have to learn. We have to pick up that we have to give association. We do not take the actually, we do not take their association, we give them our association. That's extremely important that we take their association. So we have to take the path of bhakti very, it is said it's like walking on the razor's edge. One has to be very particular that how he treads the path of bhakti. So treading the path of bhakti means one has to be very, very careful. It's like walking on a razor's edge. The scriptures say that it's like walking on the razor's edge. So one has to be extremely careful when he treads the path of bhakti. Here, Dhruva is being actually told by Supreme Lord himself that you will come back to me, don't worry, but just do the needful, rule the kingdom just as being my servant. You are representing me there. So Maitri Muni is telling all this to Vidurji. And here he tells Vidurji, after being worshipped and honored by the boy Dhruva, and after offering him his own abode, Lord Vishnu, on the back of Garuda, returned to his abode as Dhruva Maharaj looked upon. So Krishna, after speaking to Dhruva, he just left. He left for his own abode. And here Dhruva is there who has got all the knowledge Krishna has bestowed upon him just by touching his conch shell on his head. Krishna has been merciful to him. So now Vidurji is very much inquisitive that this is how the devotional service, which alone pleases the most affectionate and merciful Lord, and Dhruva achieved this position in one lifetime. He was very wise and consciousness. He was very conscious about it. Why then Dhruva was not pleased now? Dhruva did not want, he was not pleased. He did not want this, what Krishna has given him. He wanted to go with him. Imagine, he actually did the tapasya to get all this. But now when Krishna is giving him everything, he doesn't want this. He wants to go back. He's forgotten everything what he had now suffered at the hands of his stepmother because his heart has been fully cleansed now. He thought these were very trivial things, very small things for which he had actually, uh, he was looking for. Maitreya Muni answered to Vidurji, there is the text 29, he said, Dhruv Maharaj's heart, which was pierced by the arrows of harsh words of his mother, was greatly grieved. And thus, when he fixed upon his goal of life, he did not forget her misbehavior. He did not demand actual liberation from this material world. But at the end of his devotional service, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared before him, he was simply ashamed of the material demands he had in his mind. So when we become devotees, when we come to ISKCON, may we have a lot of other objectives in mind. When we enter ISKCON, may we have a lot of other things in mind. Oh, I want to achieve this. I want to get this, and I'm doing japa to get more influential, more fame, no more name, more power. Maybe you are seeking that from Krishna. But when we are purified by it says by attentive chanting, when we do attentive chanting and when we get purified, then what happens? Then everything changes. You don't want anymore all those things which you had been looking for. If you're a true devotee, if you're a sincere devotee, you don't want name and fame. Name and fame may come to you, but you don't want it now. That is how actually Krishna purifies oneself. That is how Krishna gives his blessings. And Dhruva got these blessings. Now Dhruva is actually, he has to his he has to take the words of the Supreme Lord. He has to go back and he has to now rule the kingdom. So here Dhruva Maharaj lamented that I was under the influence of illusory energy. I was ignorant of factual facts. I was sleeping in Maya's lap. He says all that in this chapter. He thinks all about it. Then I saw my brother as my enemy. I saw him as an enemy. He was sitting in my father's lap and I wanted to sit in place of him. So I took him as an enemy. But when one gets purified, one when becomes a Vaishnava, and Vaishnava is the one upon whom the Supreme Lord Vishnu is very pleased, he becomes a Vaishnava. So when one becomes a Vaishnava, he doesn't actually take others as his enemies. He's friend to all, even to his enemies. He is not an enemy to his enemy, even. That's a Vaishnava. He is never an enemy to his own enemy. He loves everybody. He is the ever well wisher for everyone. He prays for everyone. He says, yes. If we go to Gurudwaras in the morning and in our temples, even we pray, then everyone may receive the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And when we say everyone, in the Gurudwara, they say Sarbaddapala, that everybody should get the mercy. And likewise, we say that everybody should get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. We should try to give mercy to everyone. We should try to actually make everybody aware of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So this is how it is. That is the reason that we don't take anybody our enemy. We seek blessings for them as well. We never say, this is a list of persons on whom there will be no blessings. Please don't bless them, but bless only my friends. We don't say that. We say, bless everybody. And that includes our enemies also. So it's very interesting that Krishna purifies everybody's heart. And then those enemies never look your enemies. When you are purified, you don't take them as your enemies anymore. So likewise now, Dhruva is thinking, Uttama is not my enemy, he's my brother. And he is now ashamed of what he was thinking at that time. He's become so purified. His mother, stepmother now was, when you will see, when he reaches back to his palace, he bows down before his stepmother, also touches her feet, and she embraces him. And this is how it happens. When we become devotees, our hearts are totally cleansed. So, and that is how he thought that I have actually satisfied the Supreme Lord in 6 months. I have satisfied the super soul of the whole universe. And I was praying for useless things. And now this is what actually I have achieved. So that was completely useless. So my activities, he says, exactly like treatment given to a person who's already dead. Just see how unfortunate I am, for in spite of meeting the Supreme Lord, who can cut one's link with birth and death, I had prayed for the same conditions again. He says, I'm so unfortunate that Krishna appeared before me. I could have gone liberated. I could have gone back to Godhead right there and then. But no, he gave me, I prayed for all that and I've got it again. So I'm all stuck again in this material world. But Krishna told him, you will not be stuck here. At the end, you will come back to me. So now Maitri Muni tells Vidurji that who are pure devotees of the Lord and thou are worshipping the lotus feet of Mukunda. Mukunda means Mukti Data. Mukunda means who gives liberation. Only Krishna is called Mukunda. He is only known as Mukunda. None other demigod is known as Mukunda. Sometimes we go to demigods praying for our liberation. They cannot give us. No demigod or demigoddess can give us liberation except Mukunda. So Mukunda is Mukti Data Krishna. And they are who are always attached to the honey of the lotus feet of the Mukti Data Krishna, Mukunda. They serve, they feel satisfaction in serving him. So that is what we have actually been bestowed with by Srila Prabhupada. It's his mercy that he actually showed us the right path, that how we can actually satisfy our lives, how we can become satisfied, really peaceful in this material world itself. This material world is like a blazing fire. It's a forest fire full of desires, full of attachments. But how one can actually become detached, how one can feel satisfied when one is actually surrendered to the Supreme Lord. And Dhruva Maharaj has shown all this. Now when he's entering because I know we are getting, at what time the question answer start? Please, somebody can guide me from here, those who are regular here, so that I may keep a track of the time. If someone
Hare
can.
Krishna Mataji, then it pronouns.
Then
Mataji, till 9 o'clock the class generally goes on. Like you can.
I can start with the question answers, I believe now. It's already 8:50.
Yes, sure, Mataji.
Yes. So please, those who have any questions, they can please ask me, because please go ahead with question. If any question is there. Actually, I can't see all the participants. That's the reason. If no question, then I continue with the class. Somebody who is coordinating the class, please let me know. So as I hear nothing, we can continue with the class then for
Yes,
another
Mataji.
5-10 minutes. So now the Maitri Muni is telling Dhruva that everyone was praising Dhruva. And the king was very happy. Raja Uttanpad, when he came to know Dhruva is coming back, he actually took around all the ministers, all the sages, and he was going on his chariot to receive Dhruva. With both the wives, Suniti and Suruchi, Uttama, everyone was going to actually receive Dhruva now. And Dhruva, he was returning to the capital and he was being praised by all classes of men. The whole city was decorated with columns of banana trees and with fruits. And it says, the gates were big, huge gates of the city were actually beautified as Dhruva was coming back. The devotee of the Lord is being received now. So you see, it says here, when you become a devotee of the Lord, a pure devotee of the Lord, you actually get all that glories that you will be worshipped, you will be actually praised, you will be glorified, and just as the Lord himself. Because Krishna passes on his glories to his devotees. So at each and every gate, there were lamps, there were mango leaves, there were flower garlands. The whole city was actually now being decorated with, it says, with golden ornaments. Domes of the city palace were glittering, and the beautiful airplanes were hovering over the city. And thus Dhruv Maharaj was and sandalwood water was being sprinkled everywhere. Flowers and fruits were being offered and being actually scattered all over the city. So thus Dhruv Maharaj passed on the road from every place in the neighborhood, and he actually was being showered with blessings, showered with all it says, the curd, the barley, these mustard seeds, the fruits, the flowers, everything was being sprinkled on him. He was being welcomed. And Dhruv Maharaj, thereafter, he lived in the palace of his father. And this palace was bedecked with jewels. So this is why this is being told. Everything is being told how the palace looked. So today's verse also tells about how the palace was surrounded by lakes and gardens, and it was mesmerizing. It was very beautiful. And there were beautiful women with shining jewel lamps in their hands singing. Why this is being told? This is being told that to show that what an opulence Dhruv Maharaj enjoyed. And then in that opulence, also he was not carried away. He remained steady devotee Dhruva. Dhruv means determined, full with willpower and determination. He remained determined throughout his life. He was under the protection of the Supreme Lord. So when we chant, we come under the protection of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, in such a place, when you live in a heavenly place like this, one gets carried away by all the such an opulence he was enjoying. He could have easily got carried away. Emerald staircase, if you have in your house, imagine how would you flaunt about it? How would you actually show off about it? So he had that emerald staircase, there were emerald staircases which led to the lakes full of variously colored lotus flowers and lilies, swans, and beautiful birds were chirping there. And these lakes were mesmerizing. So, but he was not actually carried away. He actually remained always satisfied and always surrendered at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. He, for once, even he was not carried away. Just, it says there, when after consideration, King Uttanpad saw Dhruva, he was suitably mature to take charge of the kingdom. He is seeing Dhruva as the person now he can take charge of the kingdom. Imagine at such a small age, he is being offered to rule over as the emperor of this planet. And he enthroned in the next verses when they will come, you will see he was enthroned as the king there. And then he he actually, Uttanpad, left, he got himself detached from the worldly affairs and entered the forest. So this is how this chapter actually talks about Dhruva. So in the gist, I've totally given you the full gist of this chapter, how Dhruva returns to because we are aware of this, what penance he went through. and severe penance and all the demigods, and they requested Krishna to appear before him. And when Krishna appeared before him, Dhruva was blessed with all this. And now Dhruva returns to the palace to take over the charge of the kingdom for another 36,000 of years. And then he goes back to Godhead. So, but he has been assured by the Supreme Lord. So when we chant, when we actually perform austerities and penance, we are actually blessed by the Supreme Lord. We get all the blessings, we get all the protection from the Supreme Lord. The blessing is means protection. We get the protection from the Supreme Lord. We always remain under his protection. That is how a devotee is. Hare Krishna. So still, if anybody wants to ask anything, they can put in the chat box or ask me. We have 4 minutes still left. I've actually kept these 4 minutes for anybody who wants to do any interaction.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Mataji, how do we, like Dhruva has a strong determination to follow instruction of his Guru or the Narad Muni. How do we every day cultivate this determination? How to be enthusiastic every day in our devotional service?
Very nice question. I was expecting this question. It should be asked because Dhruva means full of determination and bhakti needs determination. If to carry on the bhakti, we need the determination very strong faith in the spiritual master, in the words of the spiritual master, in the instructions of the spiritual master will bring actually this. And attentive chanting. The sadhana has to be very nice. It has to be a very attentive chanting means getting actually away from the 10 namaprats and then getting up early in the morning in the Brahmurta. That's very important to get that connection with the Supreme Lord. And then having prasadam in your diet, that is attentive. It's a part of attentive chanting. The chanting actually relates to that. When you're eating only prasadam, and that happens that your chanting will be nice. You will be able to be up in the morning because the prasadam is going to help you. And then chanting your rounds very nicely, listening to every word of what you're chanting. That is very important. The more you get into the chanting, immersed into the chanting, then only you will get the enthusiasm from within. And being in the association of devotees always. Never ever think, oh yes, I can do it on my own. That is the biggest maya in our lives. When we think and we find, actually, we become judgmental. We find faults among our mentors. We find we had been with one person and we took the instructions, and then second time we see someone else and we get carried away and move away there. One has to remain. Whether the Maya attacks you or not, you say, no, I have to, from where I got, that's my root. From where I got the knowledge, I have to stick there. I have to be there because Maya will play with us. Maya will try to deceive us. Maya will try to actually take us away from the roots itself. It will say, oh, everybody is the same. Why do you want? You see, many people leave ISKCON these days and they sometimes go somewhere here and there. And then after finally wasting few years, they come back. The pressure years are gone and then they come back. They want to come back then. I have seen over this 26 years of life, I've seen many who joined with me, they sometime went away, and then after many years, they come back. So we have to stick earlier also. It's in the beginning only we should actually tell our minds, no, I'm going to stick here. I'm indebted here. I'm indebted here. When I joined in, I was indebted to my Guru Maharaj. And then I told myself, yes, I'm indebted to him. He gave me, actually, he bestowed his mercy and I got the knowledge. And now if I get the knowledge and I say, oh no, I'm independent, then that is not done. That cannot happen. So one has to actually feel I'm indebted. One has to actually, Trinadapi Sunichain is very true. One should follow very truly, sincerely. It's not just theoretically. It has to go into your heart and soul. It has to go into your blood. Trinadapi Sunichain. One has to be remembering that always. That's what Guru Maharaj always said. His favorite verse was this. And whenever I speak only experiential knowledge, what I have experienced. That is what actually motivates me a lot. So he always used to say, problems come up everywhere. Sometimes, many times, problems will come up in the devotional life as well. They will come up because devotional life is what the testing time for us. Maya will try to test us. And when Maya tries to test us, we tell ourselves, oh, I have to pass this test. I have to follow the spiritual master's advice. I have to do as his instructions. And then you see Maya will gradually, it will recede. It will go away on its own then. Krishna will tell her to leave. But provided we remain strong. But the strength comes from chanting. Strength comes for our japa. So attentive chanting, Brahma Muhurat, that is Mangalarti time, it's very important in life. And eating prasadam. So, and actually abstaining from the 10 namaprats always. These things we have to keep in mind all the time. All the time we should remember. We should not let our mind rule us. That's very important. Actually, mind will ruin everything if it tries to rule us. We have to, how we will rule the mind, that can only happen with the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and that comes through the spiritual father. Krishna's mercy will not come direct. It will always come through the spiritual father, the spiritual master, and through the devotees, through the devotee whom Krishna actually has linked to us. So, whom we are linked, whom we have, from where we have achieved the knowledge till now, we should be remain indebted and have connection with them always. It's not good if we become manipulative, or if we want to step on someone. Like in material world, people, they try to step on the other person just to achieve one thing. They can get connected to one person for one purpose. They achieve that purpose, they leave the person behind. They go to another person. Now they achieve higher step. They again go, their habit becomes that will ruin their bhakti. They don't understand this. So I can see there is another some question came up. What are 10 namaprats? Manish Prabhu is asking. So 10 namaprats are the aparad, the offenses towards the name. We are chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we are chanting the holy name. But there are 10 obstacles that come up while chanting. These 10 obstacles are the 10 offenses. We should not commit these offenses. Though these are written in the, if I'll speak now, I'll just actually quickly go with them. But if Manish Prabhu, you will go to get a book in a near ISKCON temple, if you go, you will get a book where is Nirdeshika, where you will, the 10 namaprads, or you Google into it, you will have 10 namaprads coming on the screens there. Somebody can help him. You can take down his number or something, and you can just WhatsApp to him the 10 namaprads. The first actually is we try not to commit a Vaishnava aparadh. The devotees who have given their lives for chanting, for doing the sadhana, for serving the Supreme Lord, we do not criticize anyone. So we do not criticize them. Those who have given their lives for propagating the holy name. Then we actually do not place the demigods, Devi Devtaon ko, hum ek hi kaha ja raha hai, we do not equalize them with Krishna. So likewise, there are 10, these namaprads, the offenses to the holy name, one should abstain from them. So you can take the help of the, there's a number on the screen, you can just share with them, and you can connect with them. Somebody has actually put the link also here, the 10 offenses. So you can go deep into them and understand them. Hare Krishna. So we will end the session. If any question is there, I'll take that, or otherwise we end the session. So in the 10 namaprads, actually there's another third namaprad is where you think your bona fide spiritual master to be an ordinary person, or you think him to be, and you don't follow his instructions. So a bona fide spiritual master who is coming from disciplic succession should be followed. All the instructions should be followed, and never think him to be an ordinary man, ordinary person. The spiritual master who is bona fide and who is coming from disciplic succession is actually not to be thought of in any way an ordinary human being. If we think that way, that is Maya. That will make us fall into Maya when we think, oh, is this the Guru? He falls sick like us. He's like us. He actually looks like us. His activities are like us. So when we think that, we are committing an offense. Krishna appeared in the material world. He looked like us here. but he was not like us. Likewise, the spiritual father, he appears in this material world. He looks like us. He does all the karyakalap like us. Everything he does looks like a normal human being does. But no, Krishna has actually manifested in the form of the spiritual father. He appears before us in the form of spiritual father. That is how, if you take it like that, you will be blessed. If you don't take it like that, you will not get blessed. That is there. So if you take the instructions of the spiritual master, like the instructions coming from the Supreme Lord himself, then you see what happens in your life. Your life changes. Your life, you will never know what you have actually achieved in your life. Like Dhruva, within 6 months he has achieved, and he's thinking, oh, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar, they took many lifetimes to achieve what I have achieved in 6 months. Just in 6 months he achieved. And then he attains the kingdom which he does not want. He does not want that kingdom, the whole kingdom of the whole planet he gets. He doesn't want it. But yet he does it. He served the kingdom just as a servant to the spiritual Supreme Lord. And he got the mercy of the Supreme Lord by the mercy of his spiritual father, Naradji. Hari Bol. So we'll end the session now. I thank everybody, those who have joined in. I'm very grateful. If anybody wants to ask anything, they can send me a message later. I can answer them. Hari Bol. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki jai. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Should I end the session now?
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you
Yes,
very
we
much.
take it.
Thank you very much. So that was a class from Farmington Hills, Detroit, Michigan. So I thank everybody, those who joined in from India as well, from my group as well. They've joined in, and those who joined here as well from Detroit, Michigan. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.